Welcome back in. Lexplorations back for their October edition and reminding everyone not only how rich in history our city is, but also that our city's very walkable as well.
That's right. Our friend and Lexplorations correspondent, Dr. Jason Swanson, is here to tell us more. Jason, thank you so much for coming back.
Oh, it's great to be back as always.
All right, so tell us about this latest mission that you had with Lexplorations.
Yeah, this is a new audio tour that VisitLex co-created recently. It's the African American Heritage Walking Tour. It covers 78 sites throughout 4 different neighborhoods in Lexington.
I love it.
My goodness. Okay, so there's a lot of geography here to cover and a lot of history.
Right, there's tons of history. We're going to see the creator of that. She gave me a personal tour, which was fantastic.
Wow.
And also, anybody who's using the pass can redeem some discounts and other things at restaurants and retail stores.
Oh, very
Incentivized
good.
too.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
The historical contributions of African Americans have shaped Lexington. The city offers a variety of ways to learn about Black history. The Visitor Information Specialist at the VisitLex Visitor Center will know all about ways to explore this. I know a little bit about the contributions of African Americans to Lexington history, but I'd like to know more.
We've got a new digital pass. It's a walking tour that'll tell you a lot about the history of African Americans in Lexington and also showcase a lot of the historical landmarks too.
Great, I'll download the pass and start exploring.
Great.
The digital pass is a walking tour that was created by historian Dr. Yvonne Giles. Why was it important for you and VisitLex to create the African American Heritage Walking Trail?
Well, the Heritage Walking Tour, African American Trail, was a concept of Rufus Friday. He had been around and had developed similar programs in other communities. So he approached the business community and said, this is a good idea, we need to explore it. So they had these courageous conversations, inviting community people to come in and talk to them. What do you want to see? And this was one of the concepts that came out. They wanted some more information about African Americans in Lexington.
So when residents and visitors to Lexington download the digital app, what are you hoping that they take away from the tour?
Well, I want them to be proud of what our race, and who these individuals are. Because if you don't know that history, you'll just assume the most negative you can think of. Oh yeah, they were slaves. There were a lot of slaves. We sold lots of slaves downtown. But these enslaved people, they weren't dumb. They were not dumb.
So this tour can serve in part to fill in some of those misinformation gaps, perhaps.
Well, I hope not just in part, but totally.
Totally. So as you were pulling this tour together, what was something that you learned about the history of Lexington?
I guess one of the things that most of us have always believed is that enslaved African Americans were not allowed to become educated, and that absolutely is not true. I know they had a public school, 1798, here in Lexington for enslaved individuals. And the note in the paper, advertisement, send a letter with your, quote, servant, so they can be admitted to the school. But that has been the most enlightening, and even in the state legislature back in the early 1800s, there was a report in the state legislature that there were 15 colored schools throughout the state before emancipation.
Oh, wow.
15, it was a state report.
There's a lot of aspects of history that we're taught, but may not always be accurate, so it's important to have historians like you to do that extra digging, do that fact-checking, and tell more of the story.
Yes.
Using the digital pass, you'll hear Yvonne share stories about activists, educators, and community leaders who shaped the cultural landscape of Lexington. The African American Heritage Walking Tour is another way to explore Lexington from a different angle.
There he goes with his
Yeah.
app onto another adventure.
That's right. Oh,
So,
I love that.
big information.
Yeah.
So much information,
Yeah.
And Dr. Giles is so informative.
She really is. I had the pleasure of interviewing her before, and she's done so much research and so much good for the African American community here in Lexington by researching a lot of those grave sites that are in that cemetery.
Right. That's right.
And she's just wonderful. She really is. So let's talk about your biggest, I didn't know that moment in this particular segment. What would you say it was?
I think it's just the detail of the tour. There's 78 stops, and she researched all of those, and so there's an incredible amount of information. And what's really great about taking the audio tour is it's Yvonne's voice.
Yes.
So I got to walk around with her a little bit and hear some of her stories, but anybody else can too.
Yeah. Oh, it's
I
wonderful.
love that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So Jason, the app seems like, and these kind of phone-based missions seems like they're becoming more and more user-friendly. I mean, are you finding that to be true?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is our VisitLex has 3 or 4 of these, and they're GPS-based, so you can go around and follow the map from place to place. You can check in, and that's how they keep track of all the prizes that you can win. Return back to the visitor center and show them that you did all those stops, and then they give you a little prize.
Nice. How easy is it to set up the app? Is it fairly easy to do this for the Lexplorations?
For a person to use it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's easy. You just download it from VisitLex.com. It goes to your phone, and then follow along the tour.
Okay, easy enough.
I think a lot of times we worry that, okay, we're going to be on this tour, but we're not going to know where to go. But there seemed like there was a lot of signage and a lot of stops where there's a physicality to what you're learning right in front of you too.
Yeah, there is some signage, but there's more to be added. So that's part of the project. They're adding signage along the way, but there is some there. But everything that you need to know is also on the app there.
Love it.
Yeah, right in the palm of your hand.
Absolutely.
Learned so much on this one.
Oh, I know. So where do people need to go again if they want to do this Lexploration or any of the others that we've covered this past season?
Yeah, just go to VisitLex.com. You can download those digital passes. The I Was Here pass, we covered that earlier. Yeah, the mural tour, we featured that as well. And then this one is there available for anybody to download.
I love it.
Wonderful.
Yeah. You always make a great case for a staycation.
Yep.
Yeah.
No reason to leave Lexington.
There you go.
That's right.
Jason, thanks as ever. Back after this, gang. Stick around.